So Muzz, 1-1 draw this afternoon at Droitwich Spa. I think it's our first ever visit to Droitwich Spa, so you can say you're unbeaten at this venue.
Yeah, it's a nice venue, to be fair. We're driving in, didn't know what to expect, didn't really know too much about them, the area and the place. We know a little bit about the team, but yeah, a good solid away point, and coming from a goal down, yeah, really pleased.
Yeah, you say coming from a goal down. They peppered us a bit in the first half when they had set pieces. We dealt with most of them, but that they took one away. I think it was probably about 10 or 15 minutes before half time.
Yeah, and I think it's just we've been really good on those recently. Where we had a bit of a sticky patch on set pieces, I think we've competed a lot better. Most first and second balls recently. And eventually, you can't have concentration for every set piece. Is impossible. And likewise for us, we had a couple of moments on our set pieces that we didn't capitalise on, and that was just a slight difference, I think, in the first half. Although they had a lot more ball and they looked a lot more dangerous than us, we did get in some good areas at times without really creating anything.
Yeah, I think that's a good summary. I think first half we did have some really good positions, but didn't really test them. Whereas you made a number of changes there. Robin Hoffland came in goal due to Alex Hammond's injury, and he made a couple of great saves in that first period.
Yeah, really good. Robin's strength is shot stopping. He's never let us down. I've just sort of said to him, and then gives me heart failure now and again when he starts rolling it out to the centre midfield in the middle of the park. We're not at that level just yet. It's on when it's on, but he's got to make sure it's got to properly be on. But as a goalkeeper, what he does. He's kicked it well, reasonably well today. He's made some good saves. He's handled it well. He hasn't got bullied off those set pieces. Yeah, so I'm really pleased for Robin.
Yeah, and I thought it was a good defensive display as well. I thought, Callum McLean for me had an excellent game, and Sam Kelly as well.
Yeah, I think back four, did really well. We could be sharper at times with certain things. When the ball drops, sometimes just clear it. Put it back where it needs to come from, and that's just being hypercritical. I asked the guys to come from like sort of young boys to men today, and a majority of them, if not all of them, stood up to it. So it was really, really good.
And then, as you said, 1-0 down at half time. Second half, I thought we played really well and got a really great equaliser.
Yeah, we sort of said at half time, we've had moments without creating anything, getting any shots off. Do we need that extra pass? We had a great shape. They didn't carve us open. It was a set piece, and stuff like that. So if we had our moments and we jumped at the right time, could we have a spell and keep the ball and maybe create something? And say the goal was as good as a goal that you'll see. It started from outside the post into the top corner. But the involvement from Carnell, Corey, I think Eli, they kept it in that corner, found a way out to Callum, who's played a great ball into Carnell, and I think, like you said, the finish was superb.
Yeah, thereafter, again, it went both ways. I think they had some chances, but we equally had plenty of opportunities around their box. I guess it's one of those games where you were thinking, yes, I'd love to nick it, but equally I'd like to keep the point.
Yeah, I think we had moments. We were a threat, but so were they. They've had a couple of shots, balls into the box. We've got into good areas where crosses have gone straight into the keeper, or we haven't made the right decision in that final third. When the ref gets 4 minutes of injury time, and you've played all four, and I got my full back running out to take a quick throw away from home. I'm not. That's our game manager. That's where we've got to just be better. Just understand that whatever results go around us, whatever we do, that's a great point for us today.
Yeah, indeed. And interestingly, we've got them in the cup in a couple of weeks' time, so that'll hopefully be another good game. And then before that, we are back at home next week against Worcester Raiders.
Yeah, we have. Well, it's one of the top 12 now. I think we looked at. We were sat in 12 before today, and Droitwich and Raiders were the two teams that we haven't come up against this season. We've played 2 against some of them, and none against others. So we'll have a look at Raiders next week, see how that goes. They're going to be in and around the playoffs. They've got games in hand. They've got to win them. Granted, but they look a strong outfit this year. So if we're at our best, I think it's proven today with good discipline, good shape. We want to be competitive. If we're competitive, we have got a bit of a threat, and if we can learn a little bit more, that threat might become from draws to wins and defeats to draws, and hopefully we can get a few more points.
Great stuff. Cheers, Maz.
Yeah.